Alright, this is one of my Hardy Chicagos. This is actually the one that I had in the greenhouse. I planned on keeping it in the greenhouse for the entire summer, but I ended up getting a floor in the greenhouse, so I had to take it out. It has some figs starting to ripen. I really got attacked bad by the birds the last couple days, so I had to go and put some baggies on to protect them. But you know, it's what you gotta do if you want to get the figs to ripen. I've never had the problems with the birds like I've had this year. They've been really bad, but it definitely work. A lot of people say the birds will still peck at them. For me, my birds haven't, I guess, noticed yet, so I'm still getting these figs to ripen without the birds noticing, as long as they're in the baggies. So I've got a few of these guys to pick. That one could use a little more time. Same with that one. This one's ripe. Alright. A couple figs, and I'll open those up in a second. Okay, here are my two Hardy Chicagos. This was from the tree that I had in the greenhouse. I put it out a couple weeks ago. For the most part, these figs grew in the greenhouse, and due to that, a lot of them are much smaller than normal, and they are pretty still though. I mean, they're a nice bluish, brownish fig, green mixed in occasionally, and this thing is actually sticky on the outside, and you can see a little bit of the, I don't know if it's the sugar that comes out of the skin or what, but you can actually see it a little bit on the outside, especially on the one side. I think that was probably the side that was facing down. You can see it right there. But this fig is nice and soft. It was hanging. Birds got a lot of them. I covered a few of them before I left for vacation. Didn't realize everything would ripen as fast as it did once it got real hot while I was gone. So I did lose a lot of figs, but I've at least got these two to eat, and there are several more on the tree just waiting, so let's see. See if we can get that to stand up. And here's the little guy. Skin began to shrivel, and if you watch some of my other videos, I talk about the ripeness. A lot of figs, the more and more I eat, I'm actually starting to lean towards liking them a little less ripe sometimes. I don't know, it tastes more like fruit to me than it does candy. When they get really ripe, it becomes almost like a candy. And I like them both ways, and you know, maybe I'll do a mix this year, we'll see. But sometimes I do like them a little less ripe. Okay. Let's see what the inside looks like. Try not to cut my finger off. Alright, let's see. Beautiful. And that's just a beautiful fig inside. Nice red color. You see how squishy it is. It's got a real nice texture to it. It's more of the syrupy. The Black Acacia was more jammy, jelly type of material. This has the syrup, and I tend to really like the syrup inside my figs. Black Madeira, that's why it's one of my favorites, is because it gets that real strong and thick syrup. But let's try this Hardy Chicago. That's good. That is good. It has almost a wine taste to it. It's got that little bit of, you know, everything's referred to as berries with figs. It's hard to explain figs. This has less of a berry flavor and more of that red wine, a little bit of strong, depthy flavor. I don't really know how to explain it better than that, but this is pretty good. I could eat a lot of these. It may not be the best tasting fig overall that I've ever had. It's darn good, but there's a little hint to it, a little aftertaste, if you will, that really makes this a good fig. Hardy Chicago does not get the attention that it should. It is a I'd say top 5, top 10 fig easy. I'd actually rather have this than a Ronde de Bordeaux. The Ronde de Bordeaux gets a lot of attention, and we'll see how they taste this year, but from what I remember from the Ronde de Bordeaux last year, I'd rather have the Hardy Chicago. Let's see what this little guy looks like inside. Again, that real nice color. It's got that nice depth of color. Let's see how it tastes. This one was a little less ripe than the other one, and you can actually tell in the flavor. The flavor is not as concentrated. So this might be a good example of a fig that I actually like, as it's very ripe. I actually prefer the texture of the underripe one, but the flavor was more complex than the one that was riper. But this is still good. Still very good. The other problem I've been having lately is our dog loves figs. I mean, loves figs. When he hears me getting them out in the orchard or cutting one open, he comes running and just sits there and stares at you. I've been giving him a lot of the ones the birds have been pecking, just because I don't want to take the chance of eating those myself, but he seems to be handling them just fine. I figure he sniffs his own butt and eats his own poop, so a little bird peck probably won't be too bad. Hopefully my wife Teresa didn't hear that. She'll probably shoot me. But yeah, so that aside, this is the Hardy Chicago fig. Excellent fig, and hopefully if I can get home from work earlier some of these days, I can make some videos out in the sun to get a little bit better picture quality to show you. But that's it. This is PA Figs, and this is Hardy Chicago.